Hello everyone, welcome back. This bit is going to be a bit fast. I'm trying to keep the time down. So the drawing is done now. It was loosely sketched in with a mix of burnt umber and phthalo blue. Here I am working on the underpainting, blocking in basic color and covering as much of the surface as possible. Now that the underpainting is done, it's time to add thick paint with a palette knife, starting with the sky. Using a mix of ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and titanium white, I'm making a dark blue slightly darker than what is shown in the underpainting. I'm still using the same mix as before. I'm just adding more white and more phthalo blue. And I will continue doing that until I reach the horizon line. For right near the horizon line, I'm going to use a mix of titanium white and ultramarine blue minus the phthalo blue. For the middle tone of the clouds, I'm using a mix of titanium white, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and a teeny tiny amount of burnt umber. You may also notice that I'm dipping my palette knife into a medium. That is Oleopasto Impasto medium from Winsor Newton. I'm going to be moving my palette knife from side to side, kind of in like a rainbow motion. I want to mimic the shape of the clouds and keep them kind of fluffy and light. So I'm going to make sure they merge into the blue sky a bit and create a softer edge. I'm still using the same mix as before, but I'm adding a bit more alizarin crimson and a lot more titanium white. Now I could go in with pure titanium white right now, but instead I'm going to mix a little alizarin crimson into it to give it a pinkish hue. And then the next step will be adding the titanium white with a bit of the olio pasto medium to it. This will ensure that the bright whites of the clouds stay really, really, really bright and stand out. You may notice that I'm using thicker paint as I work on the lighter part of the clouds. This way, the clouds have a more 3D effect. Alright, now it's time to use just the titanium white with a bit of the olio pasto medium. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? The pressure of my knife is like that of icing a cake. So I don't want to push too hard into the paint because then I will be mixing in the white too much into the other colors. So it's a very light pressure. As I continue to work on the clouds, I want to use the knife to kind of mix in into the sky, blend in and give some softer edges and a more organic feel to the clouds. I also want some wispy edges to show that perhaps, there's some winds blowing the clouds or something, to give the painting some movement. Alrighty, we're at the home stretch. The clouds are done, the sky is done, and now it's time to work on the land below. I'm reinforcing the horizon line now using titanium white, phthalo blue, a bit of viridian, and of course making sure I add the oleopasto medium. Okay, I'm going to tell you what colors are on my palette starting from left to right. All right, so there's titanium white, there is a lemon yellow, there's a cadmium yellow pale light, cadmium orange, or cadmium red light, sorry, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, viridian, burnt umber, and the oleopasto medium. There will now be a lot of green colors that I will be mixing. So I'm going to give you the basic overview. For the cool parts, which are near the horizon line, I'm using the cool yellow. So that's the lemon yellow. And I'm mixing it with viridian and sometimes titanium white, adding a little bit of cadmium red light to dull it down, or adding a bit of red. So that's what I'm doing in the background, but I'm wanting it to be cool, more on the blue side as it is in the distance. And as I work towards the foreground, the greens are going to become warmer, so I won't use as much lemon yellow. I'll be using more of the cadmium yellow pale light, and I'll be using more orange in it as well, and some burnt umber to create the warmer, kind of mossy greens, I would say. I'm not trying to keep the greens like you see now at this point of the painting. They're going to be brighter because I really want it to look like sun is breaking through the clouds and shining on those fields. So it would be slightly lighter than what you see here. I'm going to leave it here for now and let you watch and continue until the end. But I hope you're enjoying it so far and everything is informative and entertaining. Alrighty, that's the finished piece. I hope you enjoyed the longer video. And if you want to see this painting up close, have a look at my Instagram and also look at my online shop. Give me a couple of days to post it there, and you'll be able to purchase it.